A top story this lunchtime, North Korea should not have nuclear weapons. The leaders of South Korea and China were singing from the same sheet on Sunday as they met in The Hague ahead of this week's nuclear security summit.
Our presidential office correspondent Choi You-sun, who's traveling with the president, filed this report from The Hague.
President Park Geun-hye discussed better cooperation on curbing North Korea's nuclear program with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Sunday. The two leaders met for the fourth time ahead of this year's nuclear security summit in The Hague. President Park stressed Pyongyang cannot achieve economic development while continuing with its nuclear weapons program. To that end, President Xi said China opposes North Korea as a nuclear weapons state and that Beijing is, in its own way, persuading its ally to fulfill its previous international denuclearization pledges. This comes after President Park urged North Korea's traditional allies, China and Russia, in an interview with a Dutch broadcaster to push Pyongyang harder to give up its nuclear arms. The Chinese leader then endorsed President Park's trust-building initiatives on the Korean peninsula and policies for a peaceful reunification. President Park said a unified Korean peninsula would be nuclear-free, symbolic of peace, generating a new growth engine in Northeast Asia. On the trade front, the Korean president said the two sides should try to finalize negotiations for a Korea-China FTA within a year, to which her Chinese counterpart agreed. On Monday, President Park will seek ways to boost bilateral ties with Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. She will then give an opening speech at the Nuclear Security Summit. Choi You-sun, Arirang News, The Hague.